Good morning, everyone. Today is Saturday. And today marks 4 weeks since my daughter left. Um, I thought it was gonna get easier, as days goes by, but nah, there are days that I just lose it. Like this morning, I just this morning was just hard. Like I try to be strong. Last night we had a good time doing that live music, and you know, um, but this morning I just woke up like not okay. I regret, most of the things that I could have done, but there is no way of me getting it done because of how I was treated and how the family is. I talked to Taisali, I talked to my daughter because, it might sounds crazy, but I always talk to my daughter every morning when I come down. I came down here and talked to her. You know, I don't want to do anything without my daughter's approval, of me doing like part of me wants to go all the way back to the US just to fight this. But then I don't want my daughter to like because I know she has a really good heart for people. I know that she will like, Mom, it's okay, just let it go, Mom. Just because that is her. That's her heart. She would not want to put anyone that she loved in, position like this. And knowing my daughter, even though I wanted to do this for her, she's probably right next to me telling me, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. Just let it go. I'm okay. Because I know my daughter, even though they keep telling me, oh, you don't know her. You don't know her because you were never around. But part of me, like, know that my daughter is here with me, telling me, Mom, it's okay. Just let it go. I'm fine. You know, because that's the type of daughter Taisali is. She's very loving. She's very caring. Like she has a really good heart for people. And no matter what people do to her, she will always have that good heart. And, I just decided to come on here again this morning because I want to share this with you all. Because sharing my story and sharing how I feel uh, will help another woman or another man that is going through this same path that I'm going through right now, and like, thank God for the strength that is given to me to share my story and share my experience of losing a child with the world because, my inbox is flooded with a lot of message from all these different uh, women around the world uh, regarding their own journey and the path that they walked and what they're going through and what they've been through is similar to what I'm going through right now. Knowing that I am not the only person that um, is going through this and not the only woman that walked this path, it makes me like push me more to share this with the world because, sharing my story inspired and empowered other women to speak up. I have a lot of women reach out to me on TikTok that, they thought they were the only one that is going through what they're going through with the abusive relationship, with how they've been treated by their own kids, and And from the in-laws, the treatment they got from their in-laws, and well, me sharing my story, it helps them realize that, oh my gosh, I am not the only one going through that. And you know I'm not on here trying to get the attention. I'm on here to share um, my story of losing my child or my precious daughter, in order to help another mother out there, another father out there that is struggling the with this loss. You know, we're all here listening. We're all here to listen. We're all ears if you share your story, and we understand. Like us that went through it, understand. Of course, some people that never walk our shoes, it will take time for them to understand. But for us that has been through so much, we we understand. We understand. Once you tell your story, like immediately I'm like, okay, that's me. You're retelling my story. Because that's what most of these women in my inbox has been telling me. I'm like, you're retelling my story. I did not have the courage. I was afraid to speak up, but thank you for speaking up for all of us. So let me be the voice of all of us women that are afraid to speak up, don't have the courage to speak up, and just don't want to be out here and tell your story. So let me be your voice for all of us women that have been in toxic relationship, being treated unfairly by in-laws, and are uh, you know and are treated poorly by our own children that we birth. It's really tiring. It's really frustrating when we're trying to share something that it's really painful to us, but for some people to, well, that's what you get for, because we get all the judgments. And I know that's why some parents don't want to share their stories, because they don't want to get the judgment from the people, because it will be our own people that attack us when we tell our story. But it's okay. God knows everything. God knows your heart. God can see through your heart, and God sees your tears. God sees that you're tired of everything, but he will still bless you. He will still be right next to you, comfort you, and strengthen you to keep going, because he has a mission for us. To me, I know that God has something already planned for me, why he still keep me here. Like the things that I went through my whole entire life, I should have be back home with him already, but I'm still here. And sometimes I question, like, why are you not taking me already? Like, I'm tired. I am so tired. I can't handle anything anymore. But God gives, like, okay, no, you're not done. In my head, he said, like, no, you're not done. You are not done. Like, you have more work to do before you come back to me. And I have to, accept that God has more missions for me to do on this earth before he brings me back to him. Um, this journey is absolutely hard. If you're a parent that loses a child, you will understand what I'm trying to explain. Some days it's okay. Some days you wake up feeling normal, like, okay, I know my daughter's not here, but, I'm going to go on with my day. And, I have those days, like few days that I had like that, but then then Taisali automatically come to me like, oh my gosh, she hasn't called. And then I'll just break down, she hasn't called, like, because that routine and that schedule of you guys, like, calling each other, texting each other, and the fact that I keep looking at my phone, or I will take a nap, because she always wake me up when I'm napping, sleeping, or I'm driving. She always call me, like, you know, and that is the hardest part, is like, it's going to 4 weeks now. And I still like I try to avoid looking at her messenger on my phone because knowing that it will really break me every time I look at Taisali like to go, I'm like, no, I can't. She's not gonna answer. So it's really hard. It's absolutely hard. And this morning I came down here, I say my prayers. I always mention her in my prayers. Like I always ask God to please watch over my baby, for me. And I was talking to Tiger, and every time I talk to her, I feel so nauseous. I feel sick to my stomach. And I tell her, like, how much I want to do for her. And I hope she sees and knows that mommy's heart is broken into pieces because I wish I could have sent her off the way I wanted to send her off. But there was no way for me to send her off in the way that I want to, you know. Um, just looking back at all the videos and looking back at all the texts that I got from my daughter Cheyenne while preparing for my daughter's funeral, and the disrespect that I got from, you're not going to speak, you're not going to help with dressing her up, you are not going to, I was told not to do anything. And that is the most painful thing that a mother has to go through, to not have a voice. you know, I wish my daughter's dad would have asked me to help, purchase a beautiful casket for our daughter. I wish he could have like involved me or include me in everything. Like, I would have just, keep everything that I had at the time just to have my daughter a beautiful casket, a beautiful white dress. But, every time I look at that, I'm like, this is like they just peel a box, like that looks like a box of banana that you just peel and put all the bananas in and ship it out to, you know. It was really hard, but I tried to look on the other side, like, okay, it's just Taisali's body in there. Her soul is already gone to God, but still, in the Samoan culture, our Samoan people, that is the last thing you will do for a loved ones is to get them, like, prepare their funeral in the most beautiful way so that we can send our love off, you know. The the fact that really upset me and hurt me as a mother, it's everything starting from the preparation of her funeral. I was never involved. I was told to just shut up, do whatever we're going to tell you to do, kind of way. And the program was, you know what? My sister kept asking this guy, my daughter's dad, can you send us the address of the chapel, because there were a few people that wants to attend my daughter's funeral, so we want to make sure we send out the address of the chapel. But he refuses. He was like, well, you guys can just follow us. Follow you where? And you guys can just follow us. And my sister has to find out the address of the chapel that my daughter's funeral was held on Facebook, on one of their friends' Facebook that share a fundraising that they did for Taisali. So we found out that they were communicating with strangers, with other people, instead of communicating with Taisali's mom and her family. We were told, like, just follow us, just we'll meet you here. And it's like we're not allowed to know where my daughter was. But thank goodness for these good people that we had in New Mexico. They call on our behalf, on my behalf. I found out my daughter was in that mortuary in Colorado, because my good friend from New Mexico called and find out. She even asked the funeral director if I can come see my daughter, and she was told, well, it depends on the custody. We could call everything up, and it says that I have all the right as a birth mom to go see my daughter without permission. But for me, for me, because I know how this family is, I have to do exactly what I was told. So I was not gonna, like ruin it because I wanted to be there for my daughter. So in order for me not to do anything like to stop for them to stop me from coming to the funeral, I just have to like do exactly what they have to tell me to do. So I even trying to communicate with the funeral home about coming to see my daughter, even before and after. They would not allow me. They's like, just you need to contact your daughter's father. I'm like, my daughter's 18. My daughter's, and you know, I became so frustrated with the funeral director because I keep telling him, like, I am the birth mom. I have her birth certificate. I have her social security number. And I even have Taisali's old baby passport. I have all the proof and all the evidence that I am her birth mother, you know and I can see her. But I was told, nah, you have to, we need to let Quaylen know that you're coming to, But the fact that my daughter's dad did not want to see my daughter in that plastic bag, but refuses to let me go by myself to visit my daughter, it's just upsetting, like very upsetting, and just makes me wonder what kind of father he is. Because the fact that he did not want to see her daughter after she's was dead, he refuses to see her. He did not see her or even say goodbye to her. And his excuse was, I don't want to see my daughter like that. He don't want to see his daughter like that. Well, let me, the mom, see my daughter. I don't care how my daughter looks in that plastic bag. I just want to see her and say my goodbye. It's like it's just so sickening how these people are, because everything controls from his mom. It's all his mom that, because people's like, stop blaming Kathy. It is all Kathy. It's all his mom that he listens to, because he will not go on with his life without his mother. His mother has to tell him exactly what he needs to do, and he will do it. And that's how our marriage was. When we were married, every fight that we had or argument that we had is not him defending me from his mom. It's him defending his mom. My mom was doing all this for you, but you're like being a brat, blah, 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 blah. My mom, it's all about his mom. There was never an argument between us that he has to stand up for me. Every argument that we had, it's always my husband, ex-husband, defending his mother. It was always him defending her. So it's just like people don't understand what I have to, you know, live with, what I live with this family, with this man. And, with my daughter, the fact that, I keep saying that I will keep speaking about this. The preparation of my daughter's funeral that I was never involved in, never asked to be part of. What makes me so sick is that he gathered my daughter's friends from high school. So those were the people that they planned the funeral with. My daughter's friends and her boyfriend and his mom. You know, let me tell you this. I know, because I know you're watching my live, and I know you're watching this with anger in you, because everything I said is true. You know that all those people, all those friends of Taisali, and that boyfriend of your daughter will forget about our daughter in about a month or so, or maybe they already forgot about her. You know who's going to live with the pain of not having her around? You know who is going to live with the pain forever of not having Taisali around? It's her mother, the woman that birthed her, the woman that carried her for 9 months, the woman that kept telling her, no, Tigger, the woman that keeps advising her on the phone, like, no, Taisali, I don't agree with that. Even though I know my daughter will hate me for telling her no, but doing my job as a mother, I still have to tell her. I tell her, as long as I know, I let Taisali know how I feel and still tell her, but no matter what you do, Tigger, I will still love you. Whatever you do, mommy will never change my love for you. I'm the only one that will live with this pain forever. Your daughter's friends that you plan her funeral with, and that boyfriend will forget about Taisali in a month or probably already forgot about her. Another thing that really pisses me off are her stuff that I want some of my daughter's stuff so that I can bring it with me, and I asked for it. And Cheyenne was like, yeah, we got it, some of the stuff for you to take of Thai stuff. I wanted some of her clothes, just to have my daughter's, some of her stuff with me. I wanted some of her jewelries. I wanted some of her perfumes because this girl is me. She has everything. She has like I'm telling you all, my daughter is a part of me, and she's my other half. Everything I have on my dresser is what my daughter has on her dresser in her closet. So I was asking, can I have some of Taisali's stuff? And the answer from my oldest daughter, okay, mom, we're gonna gather some stuff for you. And I asked, like, can I have some of Taisali's, those trophies from school, her certificates from school. I even asked for her graduation gown, because I had her hat here with me and the tassel from her graduation. But the gown, like her graduation gown, I want it because I know I will be the only one that will keep everything for her until my last breath. And I will take everything with me, I will keep my daughter's stuff. I will never give them away because those are my daughter's stuff that I will keep forever. I asked for a lot, like the graduation gown, some of her clothes, perfumes, jewelries, the certificates and all that. And I was like, okay, okay, we got it all, for you. I got to the chapel on my daughter's funeral. I asked my daughter, Shan, can I have those stuff so that I don't forget it? And I got the little, shopping bag with only Taisali's favorite, favorite pineapple, stuffed pineapple that she always cuddle with when she sleeps. This is the only thing that was really, meant to me when they gave it me the Walmart bag of her stuff. So it was this Taisali's scrapbook that I made for her when she was a baby, and the album of all Taisali's baby pictures. And what else was in that bag? So it was pretty much the stuff that I gave my daughter that I got given back. Because, this, I got back this because she got this at the lagoon in Utah when we went to the lagoon. She won those games and she got this when she was, I think she was only 9 or 8 when she got, and this was her favorite. Every time I call her, she was always cuddling this pineapple. And I'm glad I got this back. I'm glad I got it back. So this was the only thing that I got back from of my daughter's stuff. The scrapbook, her baby scrapbook that I made for her when she was a baby. Um, and the crocheting, her blanket that she crocheted and she did not finish. So I got that upstairs in my room and that was it. There was no graduation gown, no certificate that I asked for, no clothes that I asked for, no perfume, no jewelries of my daughter that I asked for, nothing. So, and then I asked my daughter, Shan, like, where are Taisali's stuff? Because she has a lot of stuff. I even asked I needed those Samoan dresses that I gave her. Oh, and the lava lava, she loves to wear this blue ear lava lava, the Samoan sarong. So I'm so glad I got that because that's the lava lava she loves to wear after shower and after. So I got that back. Morning, morning, Lavina. Yeah, so I got that back. But the rest of the stuff that I was asking if I can have, I didn't get anything. The graduation gown of Taisali, I asked my daughter, like, I want that because I know I will keep that forever. The fact that say, oh, Aiden takes everything, the boyfriend took everything that belongs to my daughter. And I told Shan, do you guys even understand that Aiden will forget about Taisali in about a month or so? And then he's going to throw away all those stuff that belongs to my daughter. You guys should never give him any of the belongings. He can have some, but not all the belongings because he will fall in love again. And then he will, throw everything that belongs to my daughter away. The only person that will keep all that stuff that belongs to Tesali is her mom. I will not give away my daughter's stuff. But the fact that even her graduation gown is with the boys, well, I'm like, why are you guys giving the most important things to people? Like, you should keep it as her sister or as her dad. Just keep it if you don't want to give it to me. Just keep it. But the fact that they don't, that's how heartless they are. And that's how small my daughter is to these people. The most important things that they should keep in memories of Taisali, they just decided to give it to Taisali's friends, Taisali's boyfriend. Like I said, all those friends and all those people will forget about my daughter in about a month or so. The only person that will keep all Taisali's stuff safe and will keep it forever is her mother. But I cannot fight with stupid. I can't fix stupid at all. I cannot deal with stupid people and heartless people. You know, um, it was really upsetting because I keep asking, like, can I talk to your dad? Like, this is to my daughter, Shan. Have your dad call me. And even my sister was trying to get this man to contact me and communicate with me. So my sister got so tired to the point where she told him, like, Quaylen, why don't you just call my sister? Instead of texting me and calling me to tell me all this about the funeral, call my sister. My sister is waiting for you guys to contact her. And he's like, no, we don't want to get yelled at. That's their excuse. And then I told Cheyenne, okay, tell your dad I'm going to call him then. If he don't want to call me, I will say no. He will not talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you. I'm like, the fact that even like after my daughter's funeral, he has not reached out to me to even say, sorry, Ivana, that Taisali died in my care. Sorry, Ivana, that I did a horrible job as a father. He has not even contacted me. In the Samoan culture, in our Samoan culture, now let me speak about my culture as a Samoan woman. It doesn't matter how much we hate each other as divorced parents, but when this happened to a family, when a, a child died in a family, we put aside any tensions and we put aside any, you know, bad feelings towards each other, but we come together as parents and a family to prepare this funeral for this child because this is our child together. This is not a child that belongs just you. The child has two families, the mother's family and the father's family. But the fact that I was never involved, I felt like I was a stranger in my own daughter's funeral. You know, in the Samoan culture, when things like this happen, we come together as a family. Losing a child or a death in a family bring us together. We come together as a family. We talk about like things. We put aside any, bitterness, any, tensions. But we have to work together as a family to plan this funeral for our daughter. That was not the case with these people. They decided that they're going to do it by themselves with my daughter's friends, with my daughter's boyfriend, and not involving the person that birthed the child. Of course, whatever their side of the story they're telling, it's all lies, because that's how controlling they are. They're gonna tell, regroup the whole Colorado, the whole New Mexico, the whole state of New Mexico, oh, like blah blah blah. The mom was never around. She was never the mother. Blah blah blah. It doesn't matter if it was around or not. I was still mothering my kids from here. I still help my kids out financially. So you cannot tell me I was never a mother when I have all the proof. I have text with my kids. I even have a video. I recorded, the screen recorded a video of Alofania, my son. I was on the flight to Utah from Auckland, New Zealand. And then, there's Wi-Fi on the flight. And I received a phone call from Alofania and I screen recorded. There is no sound because I was on the flight. I was on the plane. He was sobbing, like crying to me, Mom. I could not understand. So I texted him, Son, you need to text me. I cannot hear. I'm on the flight. I'm on my way there now. This was when I went for Taisali's graduation. I have that video screen recorder of Olafania crying to me because he was so upset with Kathy. I guess Kathy was just like being a bitch, he says. And he said he was sitting in his truck and this woman just came out like telling him off and blah, blah. So my son is not staying with them. So Alofania decided to go live with his friends. And when I was there, he was living with his friends. And I told my kids, you guys have other families. You guys are not going to end up homeless like this because of Kathy. If you need a place to stay, you have an auntie in Utah. You can come to New Zealand to me. You have families. You cannot stay stuck in this, ranch, in this place. You guys have families that you can go to. But because my kids are so used in this manipulation relationship and environment, it's just like their dad. They can't leave. They always complain about the situation, how, they're controlled by this woman, but they would not leave this woman unless this woman died, unless Kathy died, and then that will probably give them the opportunity to walk away and leave. But as of right now, it doesn't matter what Kathy's do because they will still worship the ground she walked because she's in control of everything. you know, like me talking about my journey and talking about this helps me heal, helps me mourn the loss of Taisari because every time I let it out and let it go, it helps me to, feel a little better about the situation. But then there are times that I will just sit like by myself and then all of a sudden it all came back to my head and then I will start, venting to my daughter, just get her picture in front of me and just talk to her. And it's just, it's tiring. I know I look so tired because it is tiring, like losing a child. You know, I don't know how long that this journey is going to end, but it is tiring. Like to think back and um, trying, I'm not trying to forget my daughter because I will never forget my daughter. I will never forget about my daughter because that's what some people are saying. Like, oh, just let it go, forget. Like my daughter was telling me that. Just get over it, mom. She's gone. How are you gonna get over someone? How are you going to get over someone that you love so dear? My husband is sitting back there. I'm grateful for the man that God blessed me with because, like I said before, I don't regret having my children, but I regret having my children with the wrong man. And I so wish I had children with this man because he's a man of God. He loves me and, you know, he is proud to call me his wife. Unlike this man, he like my husband will do anything for me. My husband will do anything for me and has been my rock since. You know, we are going through the same problem, but we try to heal each other. And we've been doing such an amazing job as a team. Like, just going strong and like forget about the noise from these people. Like, even my husband is going through so much with his own children, but that is his journey. That's why we're together helping each other out with our own you know problem. Thank you, and I appreciate you all for just all the love message, the kind comments and everything, because that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me and means a lot to other people too that are going through the same problem that I face. you know like, sharing my story made me realize that I am not the only mother that is going through this. There are mothers that lost their children like long time ago, or like few years ago, that has been through and walked in my shoes, and they did not have the courage to speak up. They were afraid to speak up, and they just didn't want to deal with the situation, so they just decided to keep it to themselves. But sharing my story helps them. Sharing my story helps a lot of women reach out to me like, thank you for sharing your story, because that gives us the courage to, now I want to tell my side of the story of what happened. You know what? Tell your story. We're here. We're all ear to listen and to understand your story. And for us that loves to listen, like loves to watch videos of people venting and telling their stories, please listen to understand. Listen and understand their stories. Don't listen to respond. Don't listen to attack. Don't listen to mock them, but listen to understand what they are going through. Because never say never. Never say never, because you might say like, oh, I'm so glad, I'm like blah blah blah. This could happen to you. This could happen to you, but this will prepare you for what's coming. Because never say never. You could be going into a divorce in about a year, and then something like this happened to you, and then you have to deal with what I'm going through now. Then hopefully you'll think of me like, oh, I remember Ivana went through the, so I can do this. If she can survive from that toxic relationship and that controlling family, I can too. So I said, I've been through so much already, so much, but I am still here. God still let me live and breathe every day. And I don't know why. I don't know why I'm still here. You know, Sometimes I tell my husband, like, you think you've found me, like, you think God sent me to you. No, I think God sent you to me, because we both needed each other. We needed each other at times like this. And that's all you need when you're going through so much, is a man that is supportive, a man that will pray for you, pray over you, and pray with you. You need that support. When they did the fundraising for me, the GoFundMe, for my daughter, for my travel and all that, I was reaching out to people. I didn't reach out to people for money. I reached out for prayers. I even reached out to like the pastors' wives I'm like, please, can you pray for me? I think I need more prayers, no more comforts than money. I needed that. And I reached out to people that I know that are prayer warriors. Like, please pray for me. Please, I need more prayers than money. And I had a friend in New Mexico that she's a woman of God. And this lady, thank God for the friendship that I have with her. Every time I talk to Selena, to my friend in New Mexico, she always offers a prayer for me on the phone. It's giving me the chills talking about it. Selena, just 2 days ago that I was talking to her on the phone, And every time I talk to her, she always offer, Ivana, can I pray over you on the phone? And that means so much to me. It means a lot to me. I needed that. I needed more prayers than money and any other support. For her to always ask to offer a prayer for me before we end our conversation, it makes me feel so good when Selena, I was like, and I know, and I just, well, she's praying from the other side for me. She lives in New Mexico. But every time she offers a prayer, I'm always grateful that she do that for me. And the words of her prayers really touches my heart and really strengthen me. So every time, that's why I love to talk to my friend like Selena, because I know she will offer a prayer for me, and that means so much to me. So to have friends like that prays for you and just will pray over you, it's what you all need. You need friends that prays for you and not like gossip about you. The friends that prays for you is what you need in your life. And I'm so grateful for the friendship that I have with that girl because, that means so much to me every time we talk. The prayers and the words of the prayers that she always say really touches my heart. And it comes as she's very sincere when she prays. You know, sometimes people pray for you, but you don't feel it. But every time this girl Selena prays over me and for me, I can feel every word she speaks when she prays. And I thank God for her. You know, I reach out to some of the Faifiaus Falikuas, I felt like I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I shouldn't even do this. But I was like, at the time that I was like struggling losing my child while I was in Utah, I reached out to a lot of falikuas that I know are prayer warriors to please pray for me. Please pray for my kids, not just for me, but for my kids as well, so that, they will have peace in their heart, understand what's going on, and soften their hearts. I even asked them to pray for that family. I'm like, just pray for that family, please, especially the time when I found out that I was not going to be at my daughter's funeral. They told my sister, like, we don't want her here. And if she comes, she's not going to talk. That was the time I reached out to all the people I know that are prayer warriors to please pray for me. Because I was like, I came all the way from New Zealand. I came all the way back with nothing. I did not have the money to do this, but I'm here in the US after returning home just for 4 days that I got home. And then I have to flew back. And here I am, and I was told, like, you're not going to be at the funeral. You are not allowed to be here. So I reached out, like I almost reached out to Fifi House, but I was like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so disrespectful of me to reach out to Fifi House, that I know that they will pray for me. And I reached out and to anybody that I know are prayer warriors and like, please, I really needed you guys to pray for me. I need a lot of prayers. I need more prayers than money that are donating, in that GoFund. I appreciate everybody that donated, but at the time I needed more prayers and more comfort at the time when I found out that I was not going to be able to be there for my own daughter's funeral. And I thank you all who prayed for me, or to all the prayer warriors out there who prayed for me. Thank you all for all those prayers, because God answers those prayers that I was able to attend my own daughter's funeral. Imagine not being there. Like, I will be so like, why? But all those prayers that were sending for me and was, said for me, God really hears all the prayers because I was able to attend. When after 2 days that I was told not to be at the funeral, my daughter finally texted, like, this is how the funeral was communicate, like the plan was done. They communicated through my sister, and then my sister has to tell me. So my sister was fighting for me as well. She was fighting hard for me to be at my daughter's funeral. My sister has to tell this man, you cannot say that my sister was never a mother. My sister was helping financially for her kids, and she was a mother still. Like, you cannot tell. So I guess this man finally decided, like, my sister was right, and he cannot deny that, because I was always helping my kids financially. Every time they call for money, I always send. I never say no. So after 2 days of me knowing that I will not be at my own daughter's funeral, and then 2 days later, my sister's like, "Oh, he just texted me like, okay, you can come to the funeral, but you are not going to help dress her. You're not going to see her, or you're not going to say anything at the funeral." I'm like, okay, oh my gosh, do I really have to go through this? Like another, I'm okay to go now, but I'm not allowed to say my goodbyes or see my daughter, or I'm not allowed to say anything about my daughter. So my sister has to fight again for me. She has to tell him, like, she needs to say goodbye to her daughter. This is her daughter. She needs to say her farewell. You know, with the Spirit of God being with me and my sister fighting this family so that we can be there, God answers every prayers that was heard, sending from all these people, strangers, for me, because I was able to be there at my daughter's funeral. I was able to see my daughter and say my goodbyes, even though I did not get to dress her, but I was able to say my goodbye to my daughter. I was able to see her for the last time, you know, and I was able to say a tribute, like share memories of my daughters with those who were there. Um, when I was there, fighting all this with my poor sister has to do all this for me. And that's why I'm so grateful for my sister. Because if it wasn't for my sister and all of you guys' prayers, and like, I would not be able to see my daughter or be at my own daughter's funeral. Um, I really wanted my husband to go with me because my daughter really wanted to meet dad, and she has so much respect. She's very respectful, always love. When she calls, and Dan's loves to hear us laughing, and Dan's always say like, "Oh, so yang aking gikim lang aka," and then he always, when I went for her graduation, oh no, when I went for Thanksgiving last year, I went there to stay. So I went there to stay for the whole, until she graduated, and then I'll come back. That was the plan. So I wasn't supposed to come back early than I did. So I went there November, spent Thanksgiving there, and I told, because the reason why I went there to work and just stay there until she graduated, because of what she told, keep telling me, "I'm so tired of working and go to school, mom. I have a lot of homework," and also I'm like, okay, I'm coming back. I'll be I'll be in Utah. I'll stay with auntie and I'll work, and so that you don't have to work, so that you can focus on your school because you're about to graduate. I want you to, you know so I went back to America. I stayed with my sister. I start working, and then my dad passed. My biological father passed in Feb, so I have to come back to my dad's funeral. So that's when I come back and decided to go, and I told Sally, okay, I'm not going to miss your graduation, I'm coming back. The graduation is in May. And I did went back for her graduation. I went back on May 18. Her graduation was on the 22nd. Yeah, her graduation was on the 22nd. So I was there. And then I'm like, Tigger, I'm so sorry, with all the plans, and I came to stay and work so that I can help you out, so you don't have to work, but my dad passed, I have to go back. And um so when I came, or when I was there, at the for her, to work for her graduation in November, she was like, she's very mindful and very loving and caring. She's like, Mom, what about Dan? What if something happened to him while you're over here? I'm like, don't worry about him. He's survive. He can survive over there. He's okay. And she always check up on him. Like, have you talked to Dan? Have you talked to Dan? I'm like, yes, Tigger. Don't worry about him. He's fine. That's how she is. She has a good heart for everybody. So when I went for her graduation and I told her my plans, like, okay, I'm gonna stay until Cheyenne have the twins. She was the one that told me, like, Mom, no, just go back. She do not need you. She's not gonna let you help her because she's gonna stay with her boyfriend's, with her partner's family. So she don't need you here. And for her to tell me that, I was like, okay, Tigger, like, yeah, just go back. Dad needs you. That's what she says. Dad needs you. Cheyenne don't need you. I'm like, Tigger, you know, Cheyenne and Nolofangia has no idea how much Taisali roasted them or, vent, like complain about them. I have a lot of videos of her just going on, and there are a few videos of her crying because she was so upset with Cheyenne, with her sister. She will cry and like, Mom, I could not. I'm like, Tigger, it's just calm down, calm down. She's your sister. It doesn't matter. She's still your sister. You need to love your sister. And I always advise my kids about this. Even Cheyenne, when she complained to me about Taisali, I always tell them, I don't care how much you know each other, but at the end of the day, that is your sister. Be grateful that you have a sister. Be grateful you have a sister because there are women out there with no sisters. So for you to have a sister, you need to be grateful. And they were like, no, I wish I didn't have a sister. Like, that's how, you know. But I always advise my girls, like, you need to love your sister. You can have as many friends as you can, but your sister will be your bestest friends. There's a Samoan saying, "O wo mo sa uma, a uso mo sa vale," and that is so true. You can have as many friends as you can. You can replace your friends, but you can't replace your sister. Your sister is your blood, your flesh and bones. You cannot replace your sister. You can, decided to change friends and all that. You can never replace your sister. You can never replace your brother. You can never replace your parents, but you can replace your friends. You can replace your boyfriend. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I have few videos of her crying just because she's upset, very upset with her sister. You know, Taisali and Alofania, my two middle children, are very close in age. They're like 14 months apart, so they're very close. And then my youngest, Loma Ali'i, and Tigger are 5 years apart. So 5 years apart. Taisali was if you watch my talk about my daughter's at my daughter's funeral, I mentioned that Taisali was the baby for 5 years. So that's why my bond with my daughter is very close, and we're no one can separate us. No one can tell this girl your mom is that, like, nah. It doesn't matter what you tell Taisali. Taisali's heart still attached to me. That's how our relationship is with Tessa because she was my baby for 5 years before her younger brother was born. And um, Ali'i, Luma Ali'i is going to miss her sister because every time Taisali gets paid, she'll always call me, okay, I'm getting paid today. I hope I have enough because I promised Li'i is her younger brother. I promised to take him here and there. I promised to get him this. I'm like, Tai, you need to get your money so that you can save it up for, whatever you need. Like, stop buying Lee stuff. I'm like, but I promise him. She has a really good Samoan heart. That's the Samoan heart that she has. Very loving and caring. Her sister, on the other hand, she will cry to me, Mom, I cannot. I'm like, to Sally, calm down. She's your sister. You know, I know you're angry, but you still need to love your sister. So the 15th of June last month was the day that I returned back to New Zealand. The 15th of June, Cheyenne's supposed to have an ultrasound appointment. The 15th of June, Taisali decided to go with a boyfriend to Oklahoma. I knew about it, but I still texted her, just to see if she'll change her mind. I texted Taisali, Tigger, your sister really needs you. Can you go with her to her appointment on the 15th? And she texted right back, like, nope, I do not want to go to her appointment. She can go by herself. I am going to be out of town. I'll be in Oklahoma. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Tigger, okay, okay, just be careful. So I texted Cheyenne back, tell her, like, Taisali cannot be with you. You might want to go with someone else, but she's not going to go with you. Everything, I feel, it makes me feel so relieved, like, feel relaxed now, just talking about her. Like, talking about her really helps me. Talking about my daughter really helps me, you know. Um, because she was full of life. She was full. I will be at work as well. I will be at work, and this girl will call me, Mom, what time you get off? And she'll try to just go on. Like, she loves, you know, my daughter is me. She loves to tell stories. I will be on the phone with this girl, and she will go on and on. She has never-ending stories to tell me. She'll be at work, and she'll call me at work and just tell me all these stories, blah blah blah. Um, we went to breakfast the next day after her graduation. All these people come into the restaurant that morning. They stop, hello, Ty, and they go on. These are the people that you like. They're old people, like older than me, my parents' age, that will stop and just talk to her. And I'm like, Tigger, who are those people? And she's like, oh, they're my friends. It makes me feel so good, proud that my daughter was not racist or was not like one of those people like, I can't be friend with you because you're too old. This girl was friend with like the elderly people in Colorado. This girl was friend with people that are not even her age. And that makes my heart so proud when all these people walk into the restaurant, just stop and congratulate her for her graduation. Tell her that how beautiful she looked on her, banner, the picture of her banner that was on the road, on the street, because they have all the kids' picture on the street that was graduating that that week. And everybody came up to Taisali and was like, oh, but Taisali, congratulations. You look so beautiful on your picture. And I'm like, this girl is a little celebrity. Like, everybody knows her and everybody loves her. And the people that comes up to her are not even her age. These are people that are my parents' age. It makes me feel so good knowing that my daughter was loved by so many people that don't even know the family that she lives with. you know, God forgive me for bringing up this family, this narcissist, controlling family. But knowing my daughter was loved by so many people, it makes me feel good as a parent. I feel like I did something, right. I feel like my life was never perfect, but seeing my daughter like that made me proud as a mother, as her mother, knowing that Taisali was loved. Taisali was respected by so many people. um, I'm just grateful for my daughter and the courage. I'm grateful for my daughter for in the life lesson. You know, I don't regret anything that I said to my daughter prior to her death. I don't regret it. Me telling her not to go, I don't regret that. As her mother, I had all the right. Even though our culture are different, the Palangi culture is when the kid is 18, they are allowed to go. You're gone. You're out of my care. That's the Palangi's culture. We all know that. The Palangi don't care if the kids are young. They will let them go when they're 18. In the Samoan culture, 18, you're still a child. So that's what I was trying to apply to my daughter when she told me that she was moving with the boy. And I was like, no, 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 no. Me as a Samoan mother, born and raised in the island with that culture that you're 18, you're still a child. um 21, 21st, when you turn 21, that's when we let our kids go. Even at 21, I was still under my parents care. I was still there like, no, you're not going anywhere. I have to ask for permission to go anywhere. But the Palangi, 18 is the age where they let go of their children. To me, as a Polynesian and island woman, island mom, growing up in the island with that culture, like you're still a child at 18, trying to apply to my kids that were raised in America. And, you know, I'm like, nah, 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 that's not right. You're still a baby. Because that's what I told my daughter. So if they think I shouldn't send that text to my daughter, because they went through my daughter's phone when the accident happened, and that was the text they're twisting of me telling Taisali off about moving in with a boy or moving out, after graduation. My text as a mother protecting my daughter has no connection to what happened to my daughter's passing, but they twisted and like, I think that was the text they tell everybody in that ward and whole Colorado that Walter Sally died because of her mom. Nah, my text has no connection with my daughter's passing. you know, and I don't regret. If you guys think like I should feel bad for what I said, nah. As a mother protecting her child, I did everything and I said everything that I know my daughter did not want to hear. But as her mother, trying to protect her and advise her, because her mom went through so much in life that I know how life is. So I was trying to advise and protect my daughter for anything that could have happened to her in the future. That boyfriend that she was going to move in at 18 could change his mind in a year from now and cheated on my daughter. Then she's going to have a broken heart. Those are the things that I was trying to protect my daughter from. And this was the worst thing I was thinking of, and now happened. Of them being on the road and then start fighting in the car and end up in an accident. And I was so right. Like all this that was I was thinking of that could have happened to my daughter if she moved. Now this was the last thing that I was thinking of that could happen. It's happening. And it already happened. She's gone. She is gone. As a mom. So if you're watching this and you're a mother, do not be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell your children. I know they're going to hate you for telling you what they don't want to hear because that was me. I know my oldest kids will block me after I tell them off. They will block me because I will tell them straight up, like, I really don't care if you don't like me, but this is what I'm going to tell you now. And with the tone, this is how I talk to my kids, and that's why they say I abuse my kids because I tell them straight up, and I am so firm with how I talk to my kids. I don't sugarcoat anything as a parent. I do not sugarcoat. Well, just because my kids are not with me, I don't trying to be nice because, oh, I'm going to be nice to my children because they're not with me. I want them to come to me. No. Even though I am not there physically with my kids, I was still that mom, that overprotecting mom. I tell Alofonia off of how he was talking about his sister in front of his friends. And then he blocked me. I tell Cheyenne off, but I know that they hate me for saying what I have to say, but that's me being a mom. The Palangis are very different in how they discipline their kids. That's why you've seen a lot of Palangi kids have no respect for their parents because they get away with everything they do because they're afraid to tell their kids what they need to do because of oh, they're abusing their kids. Oh, I'm going to call the cops on you. That's how they are. That's not love. That's not loving your children. You do not love your kids because you just let them get away with what they want to do. No, you need to be the parent and tell them what they don't want to hear. It's what you need to tell them. I know they don't want to hear it, but you get your message through. And then later on, they're going, oh, my mom was right. I should have done this. My mom was so right, blah, blah, blah. Just tell them. Did you ask the boyfriend what happened in the car? Because she probably did say something to him. The family are holding against you. No, I don't know if you watched my previous live videos and other videos. I was never allowed. I'm not allowed to talk to the boyfriend. I was told that I better not say anything to Aiden. Aiden is the name of the boyfriend. My sister received text from the family, from my son and my daughter's dad. She better not say anything to Aiden. This is what they said. Aiden is my friend. This is from my son. Aiden is my good friend, and you better not say anything to him because this comes from my son. I will escort you out if you say anything to Aiden. You know how many questions and how much I want to talk to this kid because he was the last person to be with my daughter. And I wanted to ask him so many questions, but I couldn't get to him because I am not allowed to communicate with him. The family is protecting him. My daughter's dad's family is protecting this kid that was with my daughter the very last time my daughter was alive. And the only person that I want to talk to was this kid because he was the last person to be with my daughter. But the fact that I could not get to him, that's another heartache that I have to deal with. I cannot talk to the last person that my daughter was with. I want to know who my daughter was talking about before she dies. I want to know what she says. I want to know all this that what my daughter says before she died. But I can't. I cannot get any closures from this kid because I'm not allowed to. And if you watch my previous videos, I mentioned how much this kid came with an attitude. He walked into that room with the attitude. He looks at me like, you are evil. You're the one that kills Ty. He gave me the attitude and the look that I'm like, if he was Samoan, if he was a Samoan kid and this was a Samoan funeral, he'll probably get beaten up by the family. But they protected this child, this kid that was with my daughter, big time. And I just don't know how in the world this kid is walking around with no bruises. He's not even limping, no broken bones. He's fine. The very next day after the accident, I texted my daughter, Cheyenne, so what is all of my son doing? And Cheyenne said, like, oh, they went fishing with the boyfriend that, you know. So I asked, so Aiden has no broken bones? Nothing wrong with him? Like, no, he's fine. I try not to get mad just talking about this because, like I said, the fact that the boyfriend is walking around freely, not even in prison for this accident. My daughter's dead, but the family is protecting him. Does that make sense? Just doesn't make sense, but I will let God. I will let God Himself prevail everything. you know, I will let God. be the judge of everything. I know there's a lot of questions from people like, so how come you didn't, how come, if you're new on here, you need to go watch my previous live and watch my other videos to get the full picture of what I'm trying to explain and share right now. And yeah, and I know that from the very beginning, when I decided to leave this family, I know what I was putting myself into, because there was another daughter-in-law that walked away as well, the same way I walked away, because of the controlling from the mom. So I was not surprised when my kids got brainwashed against me, because the other daughter-in-law, the older brother's ex-wife, left the same way I did, and her kids was brainwashed right in front of me on that dinner table every night. It's like every night her name was brought up to this dinner table. Nothing positive about her. It was all negative. And I was not surprised when I decided to leave. I'm like, okay, I know this is what's going to happen to my kids, but God knows my heart. God knows my heart. But I know, so yeah, my kids are brainwashed. Big time, big time. Nope. No. I like I said, I have not even they haven't even get me involved in anything. Not even the planning of my daughter's funeral. Nothing. Nothing. I don't know anything. They treated me like I never existed. They treated me like Taisali's mom is dead and she's not even around. Thank you to Sweet Face. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of questions. Like you guys have the same questions that I do have for my own daughter, but I'm not getting any answers because even today, her dad has not even contacted me, even called me. Maybe it will help me with my journey of mourning my daughter's loss. If her dad will reach out to me, if the dad reach out to me and talk to me, explain to me everything, and even let the boyfriend talk to me and explain to me what happened, I'd probably be more, uh, be more calm and have a forgiving heart to probably forgive them, because as of right now, I just like, Lord, forgive me. But I just decided not to have any respect for this man that I had children with and his mother. I lost all the respect. After my daughter's funeral, I just lost it. Like, no, you guys do not deserve any respect from me. If you don't respect me, there is no way that I will return the same. So you're getting nothing. I lost all the respect for this man and his mom. Like I keep saying this, the father, my ex-father-in-law, a good man. He's a good man, and everybody knows that. Tom is a good man. This woman, Kathy, even just by looking at her, you should see how she looks at the funeral. Oh my gosh. The look on her face just makes you want to run outside. Makes you want to run out and vomit. Just looking at her. She gives like the most dirtiest look, and she will always give you the glare, like, you know, she's her face is just evil. Evil. Once you look at her, she is evil all over. But yeah. It's very tiring, very tiring. I get so tired, like, of not sleeping. I eat now, eat a little bit, and now and but resting, knowing my daughter, it's just everything about my daughter's funeral. Not having clothes on, like, to go with. She's naked, going naked. So every time I feel chills and I feel cold, and I always tell my husband, "Kalau fasyo kama." So every time I'm shivering, I always like, "Kalau fasyo kama, ayo maalili." As a mother, you can feel your blood, your bones, your flesh. That's my daughter. So every time I'll get cold, I'll just cuddle this pineapple like close to my heart, knowing that, you know, she's probably cold. My daughter's probably cold because she has nothing on, you know, and sometimes I try to close my eyes, but all I see is Tigger. All I see is her smile. And then all I hear is her laugh. Her telling me stories about her day. Her telling me stories about her brothers, her sister. Her telling me story about her friends. And just that excitement that she always has on the video calls, like, "Oh, mom, guess what, mom?" She always like, I really miss that. I miss when she go, "Okay, mom, guess what?" When she goes shopping or when she shop online, I'm the first person that she'll call. "Mom, are you ready?" And I'm like, "What is it, Tigger?" And then she's like, "Okay, I'm calling you in 5 minutes. You better answer." So I have to wait. Then she'll go, "Guess what? I'm going to show you my haul I got from, Sheen," or she shop on like Amazon. "So I'll show you this. I'll show you this, mom." And that's what I miss. It's all the calls, like, of her getting so excited about life, about what she was doing, about what she's going to do. She has her life all set for her. But sometimes when I talk about my daughter, I feel really sick to my stomach. It's just, I feel nauseous. And every time I talk about her and starting to get emotional, I always look at her because she's right across from me in that banner. And I will just look at her smile, and, she gives me like that comfort, like, "Mom, it's okay." Because that's her. Like, "Mom, it's okay." When I get so mad at her dad, if I texted her, Tigger, and I say something about her dad, this girl don't take sides. She will tell her dad off and tell me off, like, "Oh my gosh, mom, okay, stop texting him. I'm going to tell him the same thing." And then she'll do exactly that. She does not, like, she will not choose any sides. Taisali loves her dad and me equally. But for the dad to think, "Oh, my daughter loves me more than she loves you." Selfish. He has no idea that Taisali's heart is here with me. And I know she loves both of us equally. That's why she never chooses any sides. The only side she chooses is when she complained about Kathy, the mother-in-law, the woman that is there with them. There's a lot of videos of her just complaining about this woman, and how his dad and how her dad sometimes just don't speak up to defend them, especially her brother, Alofangia. So Sally always like, "Oh, I wish dad would just tell grandma off that Ngia needs blah, blah, blah." So this is something this family don't know, that I know everything from Taisali. I have all the videos, evidence of Taisali venting to me about what's going on over there. And like I said, I'm protecting my children because they still live with this family, and I am not going to put it out there. It's just those videos of my daughter being so excited with life and complaining about this woman and not getting involved in my other kid's life, but you know, I'll just let God deal. I will just let God deal. But yeah, there is a lot that needs to be said. This morning I just had it. And I was like, I came down here and just talked to my daughter. You know, part of me wants to go fight for her. But knowing my daughter and her heart, she is telling me, Mom, just it's okay. I'm fine. Let it go. So I know that's what she's telling me. But part of me just seeing everything now and how nasty, disgusting this family is makes me want like I don't care if I go broke, going back there to the US and fight for my for my kids. But at the same time I'm like, okay, I know Taisali would not want me to like, she wants me to rest. She wants me to be happy. She wants me to move on and, not forget about her, but forget about all this chaos and this mess that it's going on about her and her funeral and her passing. So I'm going to like listen to that small voice from her, like, okay, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. Just live your life now. Move on. Forgive them. It will take me time to forgive them and just be happy. You know, it will take time. It will take time for me to forgive this family. It will take time. Just, Lord, forgive me, but give me time to have the heart to forgive these people, because I do not deserve. I do not deserve to be treated like this at my own daughter's funeral. And my daughter did not deserve to go like that. My daughter did not deserve to have this horrible funeral that she had. You know, she deserves every penny that we had. She deserves the world. She deserves the most beautiful casket. She deserves the most beautiful dress and her makeup done, her hair done. That was another thing before I forgot. When the dad said like, "Oh, we're gonna have a closed casket for her," and I'm like, "What the heck is a closed casket?" So my daughter has to explain to me what a closed casket is. I'm like, "Wait, why?" I've never been, well, this is just, I don't know if you guys been to a closed casket funeral, but I have never been to a closed casket funeral, so I don't even know what the heck was that. So I asked my daughter, what does that mean? And my daughter said, well, the casket was going to be closed. It's not going to open. There's no viewing. And I was like, why? Why there's no, like, no, that is the thing. We need family service for her where all her cousins, families come together in one room and just, have a service for her. But my daughter's like, no, Mom, it's going to be a closed casket. End of discussion. How I was treated. End of discussion. You don't have a saying, you know? And I'm like, closed casket. Not knowing, I found out at the funeral home that I have to see my daughter that same day and say my goodbye there the same day because I will not see my daughter again the very next day when she comes to the chapel. Really breaks my heart that I had no idea what all this was going on. And when I was there that day at the funeral home, I was, that's why I wanted to spend a private time with my daughter. Knowing that that was the first and last time I will see her, it really breaks my heart. I wanted to have that special time, a private moment with just me and my daughter. Let me talk to her. But I could not do anything privately. I had to have my daughter and this woman, Kathy, there with me. Like I was treated like I was a victim, like I was a, like, um, what do you call? I was the killer. And they treated me like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. You need to have someone there. Like, and even like when they told me it was gonna be a closed casket, I thought it was the casket's gonna be, even if it's closed, a beautiful one. Like a nice, how Samoans do their funeral, the beautiful casket. Kusa wasili ako na pusa o kaya ka makiba ka nga kalesi ay nga homeless. Ila pusa o kaya siya o kamalayan. A homeless will have a beautiful casket. And my daughter that has with this family say that they have all the money in the world, blah blah blah, did not provide the a casket for my daughter. I would have loved if they tell me like, do you want to, contribute to a casket for Tigger? I will do that. I will love that. If I knew, I would like even if I offered to do it, they would not let me. That was the thing. They would not let me have any part in my own daughter's funeral. So I was expecting now when I found out closed casket is like she's not gonna have a viewing. There was no gonna be like you're gonna say your goodbye here. You're not gonna see her face tomorrow at the chapel. So and I was expecting okay then because I never seen a casket like that in my whole life. I've never seen even a homeless person. I've never seen a casket like that. When I walked into that room where my daughter's casket was lying, I'm like, oh my gosh, no, no, did they really? It was like a box. It's like they just build a box, throw her body in, that's it. That's how low, and that's how much they do not care. That's how much they don't love my daughter. Because if they really love and respect my daughter, they will put her in the most beautiful casket. They will get everything, beautiful for her. Knowing Taisali, she's a beautiful girl. She always loved to dress up, get her hair done, makeup done, lashes done. But the fact that my daughter is going naked with nothing on, and in this box they build the box like the cousin build a box. And I was just looking at like I couldn't even see my daughter's face. It was just like close. They call it a closed casket, closed completely. You cannot see her. It really breaks my heart. Like I'm just like I just wish I have a voice and I wish I could just bring my daughter with me because she will have a beautiful service, a beautiful period service here in New Zealand or even in Samoa. My family did a good job back home celebrating my daughter's death from back home than what this people did in Colorado. My family had a beautiful celebration on the ocean. They did this celebration early in the morning of Taisali's service in America. So my parents and some of my extended family went and did celebration on the ocean. Like uh, they had a balloon service, all the yellow balloons because that's Tigger's favorite color, and that's what they did back home. My daughter would have a beautiful service if this her funeral was in Samoa or here in America or in New Zealand. But that funeral they had in America was horrible. And I don't know who's gonna be there for this woman, Kathy. I don't know if even my daughter will want to go dress her when she dies. But I like nah, this woman do not deserve any treatment when she dies of what she did to my daughter. And I don't know how she sleeps at night. I don't know how this woman, Kathy, sleeps at night knowing what she did to Taisali's mom and Taisali. She did my daughter so wrong and she did me so wrong without, like, as a mother, forget about your son. But as a mother, you could have just, like, okay, let me call Ivana. Just let me call Ivana if she wants to provide the dress for Tigger or what she wants to do with, like, nah, as controlling as she is, she did not have the heart of a mother to even reach out to Taisali's mom. Forget about Quaylen. You know, let him mourn, let him whatever do, like do him whatever. On as a mother, I would have like I was expecting her to reach out to me as a mother, to talk to me, you know, to communicate with me about my daughter, but no, she did not. But what they were doing at the time, they recruit the whole ward, their ward in Colorado, to treat me as badly as they did at my own daughter's funeral. You know how nasty and disgusting this woman is, Kathy? Because none of those women in that ward came up to me on my daughter's funeral. If you've seen my previous live and video, I mentioned that when I walk into that chapel in that building, none. There was no woman from that ward. I don't even know if there's women in that ward. No one even came up to me or stopped me. Like I've been passing, like in front of all these women, all these people. None of them even stopped me and acknowledged that I was there as Taisali's mom. They all know I was Taisali's mom. I look like my daughter looks like me. My daughter has brown skin like me, and Taisali wears her flower like me. Like so, they should know like, oh, this is probably Taisali's mom because she looks like Taisali. She's wearing the flower. She's from the island, so this should be. They could be her. You know, no one stopped me, and even this woman Kathy did not even have the heart to explain or to introduce me to these people. She did not take her time to like even like, okay, this is Taisali's mom, this is Ivana Tais. No. There was everybody came and just stopped right there where Kathy was standing by the door, comfort her, and then just walk past me. Comfort her, walk past me. Like she was taking all the credits, like she was the mother that birthed this child. People came up to her because thinking like, oh, this is the woman. Kathy was the one that raised Taisali. No, I keep saying that. She did not raise my child. She was controlling my children, manipulating my children towards me. She did not do anything right. She helped destroy her son's marriage and then destroy my children by manipulating them towards me. The fact that she did not introduce me as Tisali's mom, or even like, okay, that's Tisali's mom. None of these women in this ward. It just made me sick knowing that these people, this Relief Society women, goes to church and was there at my daughter's funeral and never acknowledged that I was there. None of them. Dahil masisisi for your uluma, kuva pe, oh, are you Tisali's mom? No. None of them. Even the bishopric, none of them came up to me like, "Oh, are you Taisali's mom?" Oh, there was only one man. I think he was the one that lead the music or something. Only one guy, and the only reason that guy came up to us because he had Samoan friends. He said, "Oh, the Samoan people are so lovely and so loving. They are well. Of course, we are good people. We're loving people. We don't have that disgusting attitude that you guys have." The only reason why that guy came up to us because he has some Samoan friends that he served with, but the rest of that ward, whoa! I don't even. I hope this video should go to the the headquarters of the church because they need to know that these people that are leaders of the church are disgusting, have no hearts. They're the one preaching like, oh, come unto Jesus, love your neighbors as thyself, treat blah blah blah, but they're not walking the talk. They are not exercising what they're preaching, what they're telling people because they have no hearts. The fact that I was there and I was never acknowledged, like none of them even came up to me, even after I said my my what you call, I said my testimony about my daughter and sharing the uh, memories of Taisali. So they all know. I introduced myself like I am Taisali's mother up on that, you know, stage, and then I came down. I didn't even look at anybody because I know the look that they gave me was disgusting. The fact after the funeral service and during the refreshment, I went up there and leay masisi la wolofa. No one, no woman from that ward even came up to me during the refreshment, even acknowledged that I was there as Taisali's mom. No one even came up to me like and At least tell me, oh, your daughter was a lovely girl, blah, blah. No, something that I would do to them. If that was their daughter having a funeral and I never met them, I will probably go up like, hello, are you, your daughter was a lovely girl, she was a light and blah, blah, blah. Nothing. That's how disgusting these people are. All came from this woman, Kathy, manipulating and recruiting everybody against Taisali's mom. I was never introduced. I was never acknowledged that I was there as Taisali's mom. The fact that everybody came to Kathy, everyone came to, like I said, mentioned in my previous live, the only people that came up to me are the people that came all the way from New Mexico, my friends from New Mexico, and families that supported me and my children from New Mexico came up to me and said hello and comfort me. And even my father-in-law's family, because Tom is a good man. He has a good family. Like his families are good people. They all came up to me, comfort me, and but this Kathy's family wasn't even there. None of her family came to my daughter's funeral because they're not even related to my child. They are not even related to my child. Blood, flesh and bones, not related. That's why it's not even important to her. It's not important to this woman because Taisali is not her flesh and blood. You know, she's not. I speak about this over and over and over again because as Taisali's mom, I'm just tired and hurt from all these people. This needs to be put out there. This needs to be exposed to the church that people that goes to the church are not really people of God. They could have their own church and let Kathy be their preacher or pastor because she's evil. I don't know the teachings of the church doesn't even apply to what these people were doing on my daughter's funeral. I was expecting at least some women, at least a Relief Society president, because you understand the teachings of the gospel. I was expecting the Relief Society president, or at least the bishop's wife, the Bishop Briggs' wives to come up to me and like, or the primary president, the young women president to come up to me and like, oh, are you Tigger's mom? Are you Taisali's mom? Your daughter was so, lovely. She was nothing. No one even come up to me and even say anything about my daughter or, come for me as Taisali's mom. Mm-mm. There was no one. No one. So, you know, if I were someone else, I would probably turn my back to the church because of how I was treated in the church. But no, it is not the church. It is the person. It is the person and their heart and the heart. It's not the church. Because our religion or church don't save us, like my friend says. It's your relationship with God. And these people, I don't know what relationship they have with God, but they need to study the Bible harder than they're doing. They need to read the Bible more than they're doing, pray more than ask God for forgiveness. As if I know some of these women are watching my live and videos because some of you have reported my um, Facebook page. And you know what they reported my Facebook page about? The the message that I got from Facebook, they banned my videos. All my videos have to be reviewed before I post it because there were reported that I was promoting suicidal and eating disorder, and so, like what, like, and Facebook is like just agree with this. I'm like, what eating disorders am I promoting here, and what suicide? I'm like, no, I'm not promoting anything like that. I'm sharing my journey as a grieving mother, and I'm sharing my journey losing my baby girl, And these reports are just ridiculous. That's how disgusting they are. That's how disgusting they are. I just hope sharing my story and like telling all this of what happened to me and my daughter's funeral will help a mother and a parent out there that is going through so much already. Please understand, please know that you, like, I know people, it's so easy for people to say, oh, take care of yourself. I know, and thank you so much for saying that. I know I need to take care of myself and rest, but like I keep saying, losing a child is just another level of grief than losing your parents. When you lose your parents, you think, oh my gosh, like, then you move on. You lose your friends, you lose your sister or brother. It's like, because you only share that blood related to each other. Losing your child that is part of you, something that came from you, as a whole total different level of pain. You know, some of you that are watching my live understand what I'm saying because you've been through it, losing a child. And I never thought I will have this pain. When I lose my dad, I was devastated. Even though my dad never raised me, but he was my blood, and I was devastated. You know, I, I was sad, and I was grieving as well. But it didn't last, even though I still missed him. But losing your child, losing your daughter, and especially this child is so close, dear to my heart, and was my baby for 5 years. It's a whole nother level of pain that I had to endure. I know it's really easy for people to say, oh, just, let go. And I know she wants you to rest. I know she wants to, like, I know sometimes I do. Sometimes I feel like I need to rest. I need to, you know, and, but it is so freaking hard. So freaking hard. It almost makes you mental. It's almost make you dementia of when you lose a child. I'm telling you that. I'm not crazy. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like crazy, and I'm not trying to seek attention of, I'm not trying to make people feel sorry for me. I'm not trying to, do other things that people think I'm doing to get my story out there. Now, losing your child is like losing yourself. You lost part of you. The part that completes you is missing. It's like, ba loses your foul isn't there, then that thing will not like be steady because there's a missing screw. That's how it feels losing a child. I feel like my life is not even complete now. I feel like I'm not completed because part of me is missing. And this part was so close to me. This part was so close to me that, so for all of you that are watching and don't understand this journey, you need to be mindful, be careful of how you words your comments, because most of the comments I have to delete it because I think they're just saying it like just, but reading it, and I'm like, nah, I don't need this kind of comments. I just really don't need this kind of comments. There was a comments that on my Facebook page yesterday saying like, yeah, ole mele mawa, I am a kuoving and moko, I'm and I'm like, no, 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 no. That kind of comments, I put a delete block because nah, no, not that type of comments. No. If you don't understand what's going on, refrain from leaving a comment on any of my videos. You can listen to my story, you can share, you can like, but please, if you know you have no good thoughts, nothing nice to say about what's going on, then Keep your thoughts to yourself. Save it for another video. You know, save it for another video. But don't just say it out loud like that, because it might be funny to you, but it's not funny to the person receiving the message. So it might be a joke to you, but it's not a joke to me. So, like I say, be mindful, be careful of what you put out there in your comments, because I will block, I will delete you if I see something like that. And you need to understand. Well, I know I keep saying you need to, but you will never understand. Need to know that grieving, uh, a mother grieving for losing a child is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Sometimes, like, all of you see how tired I am. I can't. I get like, I feel like I can't sleep because my daughter is cold. That's how I feel every time. I can't rest. It's just like, this is how I I grieve. Like, I talk to the camera. The camera is my um best friend. The camera is like the way of me talking to Taisali and, you know, share my story about my daughter. Like, the camera is like my comfort place to go when I want to talk to my daughter or talk about my daughter. I turn my camera on and then I will just talk, you know, talk, I'll just talk. This is something my daughter did. Like, she loves this girl. And when she talks, Tigger will just laugh and tell me all these stories like, Mom, are you ready? And that's something like, I miss that. Mom, like, I miss that. Oh my gosh, Mom. Oh my gosh, Mom. Kiss Mom. Oh my gosh. I absolutely miss that. This is, you know, and like I said, I do not wish this pain on any of you, on any mothers out there. I do not want to wish this pain on any of you, um, because you do not want to go through it. You do not want to go through this pain. I think only strong women will survive this pain, because this pain is not even compared to 10 or 15. This pain is a billion times worse. Billion times worse. When you have a heart broke from a relationship, you thought that you're in pain. No, losing your child, who another level of pain. It's just painful. It drains you. It makes you mental. Like, sometimes I'm like, no, you're not gonna go mental. And I feel like I'm dementia. Like, I will talk to Taisali. Like, I go, sometimes my husband take me with him to drop off his orders. And then I will just run back just to kiss my daughter. Her banner, her pictures are everywhere now in my house. I'll just kiss my daughter. Or if I like walk outside forgetting this pineapple, I have to come back and grab it, because this is her. This is like, I feel like this is Taisali. That's how, you know, people will probably think I'm crazy, but I'm not. Losing your child is just, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. I absolutely don't. There are times that I'm fine. There are times that I will just like a normal me. Like, okay, like last night I was fine doing that music live. I was happy to sing and play those live music with my husband. But then after that, I couldn't even sleep. I just barely went to sleep for probably 40, 30 minutes. Then I woke up and I'm like, nah. I came down here, say my prayers, and then talk to her. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go live. And then I turn the camera on, um, just to talk, just to talk, you know. I think To me, I know I this might sound ridiculous, but I think parents that lose their children at birth, it's easier than losing your child that you've seen, that you raise, and you know all the characters of this child growing up, and you know that this child is going to become something in the future, and then you lose them. I think this is worse, losing a child that it's already an adult. I think it's easier if you just gave birth and lose the child right there. You don't have to raise them. You don't know that the characters they're going to have, and you don't know how this child is going to be. You just lose them at birth. I think that will be a lot easier than losing a child that it's already grown, and you know that, you've seen how beautiful they are, and you've seen the life that they have. That's the hardest part, knowing that they're grown, they're beautiful, they're smart, intelligent, and all that, and then you lose them. That is the hardest part, is them growing up already, but then you lose them. It's just hard, absolutely hard. um, yeah, yeah, like I said, I did finally have the courage, because part of here's how it went down. Like, I was scared. I see how controlling this family is. Even though I already left to come back to New Zealand, I will still have this feeling like I don't want to do anything, because I don't want them to come for me. And I finally had the courage to, I'm like, you know what, Ivana, no, just do it. Like, I don't, like, just do it. I finally pick up the phone and call the New Mexico State Police 2 days ago. I was asking them about a report, if there's a report, if there was an accident on the 19th, because I could not find any news or any article of that accident that my daughter got killed at on the 19th on the internet. So when I called the police department in New Mexico, there was no report, and they referred me to the state police department. They say, like, you might want to call the state police department. They might have a report, but we don't have any report from any accident on the 19th. So I called the police, state police department in New Mexico, and I finally got an answer. Okay, can you hear me now? I'm sorry, guys. I think my microphone just went off. Hello, can you hear? Okay, sorry. The microphone just went off. But I'm talking about calling the New Mexico State Police and got a report. I haven't got the report yet, but I already submitted a request a report for my daughter's accident. Because I was telling the police officer that I talked to, how come there was no article, no news, no nothing on the internet? Hello, I know the battery's dead. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, so yeah, they already contacted the state police not to put it out there. And so I was telling the officer that I was talking to, I am the mother and I live in New Zealand. My daughter is in care of her dad, and I can provide whatever they want me to provide to prove that I am Taisali's biological mom. Um, I told them that I have Taisali's birth certificate with me. I have her social security number, and I also have Taisali's passport when she was a baby with me. So I have all my daughter's stuff, those stuff, the documents that I have. And the officer said, like, no, we'll let you know if we need that, but I will go ahead and submit that request for a report. So I requested everything like footage, the call, the 911 call, who made the call, and who was with my daughter. I know she was with her boyfriend, but I want to know if, everything. I'm her mom and I want to know everything. So I'm still waiting for that report to come through. But the thing is, like, I don't know why the family is still trying to hide everything from me, knowing that if this was an accident, why are they putting restrictions on everything? You know what I mean? There should be no restrictions. This is an accident. It should be out there. But there's nothing out there. There's nothing on the internet. There's only small article, little article that I've seen, but that's nothing. It's not even like giving me any, hope of what happened or knowing what happened. But yeah, um, my daughter deserves more than what's already going on. And like I mentioned before, this factor towards me and no love towards my daughter. The way they did my daughter's funeral was out of anger. And my sister even asked this guy. My sister even asked my daughter's dad, "What have my sister done to you and your family to make you all treat her like that? What have she done? She has done nothing but loving her kids, providing for her kids from New Zealand, But I don't know why. And my sister was just here 3 weeks ago for your daughter's graduation, and you guys were fine. We came to your house, and even though my sister didn't want to be there, she came because of Taisali. But now she's dead, and you guys don't want her there. It raises a lot of questions about this family. You know what I mean? But like I said, I will let God. I will let God handle them. Um, it was just too much, too much, too much. I know they're watching my live, and I just hope they watch and have a heart to but I know them. They will never admit that they're wrong. They will never sit down and admit like, oh, she's right, she is right. They will never do that. Knowing them, they will never. Tigger, Tigger, is that you, baby? Okay, I think that's her. I'm like, when you feel that, Tigger, Ty, This is the first time I'm feeling this. I've wanted her to come, you know, show me signs, and this is the first time I am feeling this. Taisali, baby, is that you? Oh my gosh. Tiger, I love. This is the first time I'm feeling this. My husband is here now. I'm still talking on the live, and then I feel this like, you know how you feel like uh weird, feel like she's around me, and I've been trying and I've been hoping to have this feeling for since she passed, and I finally feel it. And oh my gosh. Okay. I am going to get off the live, and I will continue to come on here and talk to you guys about this, knowing like I find it like this is the feelings that I wanted to feel since my daughter passed. This feeling of like she's around me, and feeling this, eh, you guys have no idea. That have no idea. I'm so happy that I got this feeling. So happy I finally feel that my daughter is here. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for following my journey. And thank you for all the prayers, the love, and the support. Please continue praying for me. Continue praying for my babies that are back in New Mexico. I'm in Colorado. Pray for that family. You know, continue praying for everybody. You know, pray for my daughter who is pregnant so that she will have a safe delivery for of those babies, and pray for my sons so that they will have a forgiving heart and comfort them. That's all I'm asking for everybody to please continue to pray for us. I love you all, and thank you all so much for tuning into my life and following my journey. I know my daughter appreciate you all and the love and the support that you're given towards her mom.